Good afternoon, everyone on YouTube. Welcome to a special edition of Flying with Mike. I am doing this just as a video for YouTube. Actually, Twitch already had one several days ago. Hang on a second. Oh, I didn't want to cough in your ears. We did this on Twitch a couple days ago in the King Air. Pretty rough landing. So we're going to try it in the Arrow out of Daggett. We're going from Daggett, California to Catalina Island as part of the destination of the month for Millennium Aviation. It's an airline you ought to check out, folks. They're really good. They got these great flights once a month, destinations all over the world. I mean, we ended last year at Christmas Island. We visited places like Toronto. I can't even go back and think of them now, being on the spot like this. But I can tell you this: we had some great adventures, and some will be GA, some you can fly the airliners in, and you'll just have fun. It's a great airline, 4 divisions, and there's something there for just about every pilot. So I hope you check them out. All right. So with all of that said, we, like I said, are sitting on the line here at Daggett, California, north and west of the LA basin, in between LA and Vegas. We're planning to fly up to Catalina Island. We're going to use the onboard ATC that X-Plane 12 has now out, which I still say I think is probably the best offline ATC available for those pilots that are still a little on the nervous side of using VATSIM or POSCON. But it is a great training tool to help you get familiar with that cadence, with how calls come in. And real flight instructors, I think you would find this advantageous too. I don't mean for you to take them up in the air, but you may, just so they can get a feel for how ATC is, so they're not as skittish pushing that talk button. Boy, I see them just training them when I was training them on an airport to drive a vehicle. Very nervous, yet they did this all the time off the airport. Is for some reason ATC is that big ogre, that's big scary monster. It seems like, I know they would never man up and say that, but it can help break the ice. So, but anyway, we're in the Piper Arrow from vFlyte. Great product. I think I have not tried the Thronda Just Flight version. But I'm going to tell you right now, I enjoy flying this thing. Brings back a lot of memories for me. When I flew with my private pilot's license back in the early to mid 80s, this aircraft got to see me fly it quite a bit, and I loved it. It is just such a great. It's almost like you're flying a Piper Warrior or Archer, except you have to remember the landing gear because the former the gear was fixed. This one we can retract. That's it. I mean, it's just a fun plane. So, without further ado, let's get up here in the cockpit and let's see what we can see. All right, well, what we can see is a cold and dark panel. We'll bring it alive here in a second. We'll show a couple neat little features in this plane and enjoy, hopefully, a great flight to Catalina. Looks like weather, well, the weather couldn't be any better, it looks like. All right. So with it, we need Sim Toolkit. Okay, now you can see where we're coming from up here in the desert. Come across the mountains. Ooh, 6,000. Maybe pushing it. We'll see. couple days ago, we were pushing it out of Carson City for Sacramento. Well, it looks like we may do it again. Hang on a second. So, basically, a pretty straightforward flight. You can see CIVET, J60 to PDZ to XAC, which is, by the way, on the island just a mile or two away from the runway. Planning runway 4, departing runway 4. And we're departing 2 people, myself and a passenger, 110 pounds of cargo. We're going to run 22 pounds on the oh, my manifold. Oh, just like everything's I'm starting to forget. So, but again, 6,000, we may need to climb up a little to get over the Gabriels. So we'll see how that plays out. Payload 460 pounds, block fuel 163 pounds. Good and bad that we do it in pounds. Most of the time in these aircraft, we're in gallons, not pounds, liters, over there. And so we don't normally get it. But just remember, 6.5 pounds per gallon equals what's in your tank. So divide it by 6.5, that'll give it to you. All right, weather. We were talking about looks just fabulous. Here at Daggett, 030, a little breezy at 11. Right down the runway, so no crosswind component problem. 10-mile visibility, 17 degrees Celsius, which for us in the States, 63 degrees. Beautiful day out there. Over in Catalina Island, winds are variable at 5. 10-mile visibility clear, same temperature, and just again, gonna be a beautiful arrival. If we need it, our alternate today is Los Angeles. I don't like that, but that's what SimBrief picked. I would have chose more like, I don't know, I'd have picked something a whole lot different than going to the big airport with a little Piper Arrow. All right, well, let's get set up here and get ready to go. All right, pre-flight for today. You got this nice little Piper thing. It shows you a lot of stuff here. I'll kind of blow it up a little for you and move it up. All right, so you can open, we'll go ahead and button it up and remove our stuff. You can also reset cold, dark, and to a healthy plane if you so choose. Checklist is here. If I had to find it, if you had to force me to say something bad about it, I don't like that. The checklist is here. I wish it was here and just the checklist separate from the pilot operating handbook, just for those of us that fly so many different planes, we can revert back to it. But this plane is almost like the checklist is on the back of my hand, so it's not as bad for me. For you, it could be. I don't know your skills or anything, but for me, yeah, it could be a problem. So, all right, now, weight and balance, 210's what we're going to call each of us up front. Yeah, I just got hit by the missus next to me going, how dare you put my weight that high? 17 pounds of cargo, 25 pounds or 25 gallons in each wing, and we're ready to go. Weight and balance graph, very crude, very rudimentary. We're in the graph, that's all that matters. All right, now, real quick, just because I like doing this, when I flew this airplane, I did not have all this glass in here, all of this, the GPSs, this fancy schmancy autopilot. Oh no, it looked like this. And this was all radios. So where we've come in all of those years is kind of amazing. So, all right, enough of that. Let's get to work. Pre-flight, we would do a walk around and be ready to go. So, with that, let's go. Shall we? Now, we're going to go ahead. Not real, I get it, but it is what it is. And it's helpful in a flight sim. Let's go ahead and get some air in the aircraft. Or as I like to say, the air conditioning's on. Looking down here, I think our fuel tank is off. Oh no, it was on the right tank. Okay. And if you're ever in doubt, drop down, read them. You can see off, left, so that had to be right. Okay? All right, because believe me, when you go to off, it is kind of time to hope you know your glider training. All right. Circuit breakers, yes, they can be popped, and yes, you can fly with failures. Alternate air, right here is closed. Clear prop. And the propeller's clear. Prop, the blue lever is full. Half-inch on the throttle. And fuel selector set. Here we go. Fuel pump. Okay. Actually got to it in time. Ugh. The mouse in these planes are not all that great. Okay, warming up. Perfect. All right, let me scoot in here. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, where's the power on this one? There it is. It was easy. All right, you'll find setting the Barrow is a little challenged. I'm not used to this cockpit. I kind of wished I'd have went with the one I was. So bear with me. We said 3009. Okay. When in doubt, just go the old-fashioned way. Okay, 3009, 1900 feet. Everything looks good. Amps and oil pressure, temperature gauges all look good. Okay, so now let's get our radios set up. GPS 1, GPS 2, good. We're looking for KDAG. There it is. Enter. Okay. Do the same thing here. Why? Just as a secondary, in case I look in a different area, I can see what we're doing, because this one I'm going to be putting procedures possibly up there. We'll see, though. All right, now, while we warm up, now is a good time to get our ATC clearance. All right, aircraft identification. November 1089, Quebec. Aircraft manufacturer Piper. KAVX. We'll set it, even though I don't like it. Hang on. I'm going to verify my altitude. I don't have to do what it says. Alright, we're going to go. Let's go 9,000. Okay.
Los Angeles Center, November 1089, Quebec, on the ground at Barstow-Daggett. Request IFR clearance to Catalina.
November 1089, Quebec, clear to Catalina. Routing direct. Maintain 9,000. Squawk 3401. Altimeter 3014. Released for departure. Clearance voided not authorized. 06 Zulu.
Cleared IFR to Catalina, routing direct. Maintain 9,000. Squawk 3401. Altimeter 3014. Released for departure. Clearance void if not off by 06 Zulu. November 1089, Quebec.
November 1089, Quebec. Trade back direct.
Okay, we got 10 minutes to get to the runway. All right, now what I did is I put the headphones in. That made it quieter. All right, let's run it up real quick here. Yeah, it's kind of a safe spot for me. I'm getting rid of this because I accidentally do things. Okay. All right, winds runway 4. Okay, so we got a short taxi. All right, taxi. Hang on, make sure we're back to I. Hang on a second. All right, sorry about that, folks. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead taxi and get our butts into the air. Taxi light on. Pitot heat will go ahead turn on, and here we go. One notch of flaps, and I'll tell you why we say that in this plane and not degrees. Because literally, you're putting one notch of flaps in with the lever. Love Piper. You don't have to worry about asymmetrics when electric problems come up. The flaps are manual. And the Pipers I flew, you didn't have to worry about the landing gear. We had a safety system on it that automatically, can't remember if it pulled it up, but it definitely lowered it at a certain speed if you forgot. I know some pilots going, that's silly. And those are the same pilots the next flights or two, they'll land with the wheels up. Okay. We'll use the whole runway since we are about 1,200. Oh no, we're almost 2,000 feet up. All right, I think. And if you're ever in doubt what your clearance was, you can always come back. We said 9,000. Okay, oop, we slowed to a stop. All right. Run-up's complete. We got to get going here. We only have about 4 minutes left. You know what? I need to get my squawk in here. Okay, we are to squawk. Squawk 3, 4, 0, 1. Okay. And strobes. Everything's on, ready to go. Here we go.
November 1089, Quebec. Departing Barstow-Daggett. Cleared IFR to Catalina. Altitude 2,300. Climbing 9,000.
November 1089, Quebec. Los Angeles Center. Altimeter 3014. Radar contact.
Altimeter 3014. November 1089, Quebec.
89, Quebec. Fly heading 035. Climb and maintain 9,000.
Fly heading 035. Climb and maintain 9,000. 89, Quebec.
89, Quebec. Turn right heading 150.
Turn right heading 150. 89, Quebec.
Was right turn 150.
Turn right direct Catalina. Resume on navigation. 89, Quebec.
All right, and that's how it works. Here, I'll let you know so you know the plane is sounding. I'll leave it out for a little bit. It actually caught me off guard too. There is one departure here, and that's up towards Vegas. And that's it, folks. It's real simple to use, but you get a feel if you're especially instrument what to expect. But you can kind of see how it works without it. Now, that was an uncontrolled airport. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull some. This digital age is just unreal. Was on. Till we get about 5 miles out, then we'll shut it off. And there you have it, folks. We're climbing up to 9,000 out of Daggett, headed to Catalina Island for another attempt at landing here. I am going to go ahead and lean us a little, but really not much. And what I do is about every 5 gallons or so flip tanks. So that way we try to keep her balanced. And then along the way, we look for airports. And we're going to be getting a plethora here soon. They'll tell us as well, altimeter changes, but I like to stay up on them. Did they just say I could go direct Catalina? Huh. All right, so we're beginning to start into, for you railroad buffs, Daggett may sound familiar. Barstow is not far away. That's right, Daggett's the split to go to Vegas, going east out of Los Angeles. Barstow is a major yard for the Santa Fe, Burlington Northern Santa Fe. I think UP's in there too, but don't quote me on it. And then, of course, the infamous Tehachapi loops to the north, and Cajon Pass going south out of Barstow. So, train enthusiasts, you've got a lot of great stuff out here. Unfortunately, we will not be tracking the Cajon Pass. Looking at my map, we are just way west of that, so. But I think we might find a notch through the San Bernardino Gabriel Mountains and come through that way. All right, enjoy the flight, folks. This is pretty much it. We are well enough away now. Landing lights, taxi lights. Kind of keep an eye on our speeds. We still got one more major mountain crossing to take care of before, so to speak, easy peasy into Catalina. Our best en route climb is 104 knots. Best rate out on the climb is 90. Best angle. Best rate means you're going to get the best rate of climb out of the airplane. Best angle is just that. Your angle gets you up higher quicker. What you normally do is get up about 400 to 1,000 feet, then you go into best rate. That way you can help ease the aircraft up to cruise. Once you get above 2 or 3,000, flaps are up, gear is up. You can then ease into the en route climb, which is what we've been doing mostly. And folks, don't expect many single engine aircraft to climb 18, 19, 2,000, 3,000 feet a minute. 200 to 300 feet a minute is not unheard of. 400 to 500 feet's a lot more on the average, especially out west where it is warmer here, a little more humid, and other particles in the air. Obviously, I'm talking about the smoke. All of that helps to lower your climb rate. So just take it easy. You're out here to enjoy. You're not out in a rat race. And try not to hit mountains. So enjoy. You know what? I will put up for you our how far out we are. Right now we're at about 45 minutes. So enjoy. Got great ATC. It's provided by X-Plane 12 and should be there in about 45 minutes. Enjoy.
Quebec, you're on course. Turn right at 210.
Turn right at 210. 89 Quebec.
Quebec, turn right direct Catalina. Resume on navigation.
Turn right direct Catalina. Resume on navigation. 89 Quebec.
All right, folks, we are just now burned off the first 5 gallons. The big thing down here is make sure you go the right way. The white line points to the right, and of course, watch your engine. Now, I am going to plan on leaning it a little more. Trying to get as many as I can out of it. Let's see how this is all playing. And you can make this screen bigger.
894 Quebec. You're on course. Turn right again 210.
Turn right at 210. 89 Quebec.
Not why it's. Are we seriously?
894 Quebec. Turn right direct Catalina. Resume on navigation.
Turn right direct Catalina. Resume on navigation. 89 Quebec.
All right, but we are now pulling in over the basin. San Bernardino, Norton Air Force Base off the left wing there. Big Bear back behind it. And then up in through that notch is where the Cajon Pass goes. Those again into the railroad world. Out in the distance off to the right is Ontario Airport, and Interstate 15 we just flew through. Given those, some people may know the area well enough to know where we are. And right out the window in that corner, that is the San Bernardino Yard. This was a hot spot back in the up until about the 70, 80 time frame, maybe 90s. Prior to it, it had a major engine facility, big passenger operations going to different locations. I mean, it just the railroad history here, folks. Look it up. I know a lot of you out there like it. I see you playing the train sim. You're now flying over some of that really interesting history. I kinda, sorta, maybe remember the San Bernardino Depot, but it just may be what I've seen now out of books. I don't know. Remember, I did live here as a kid twice, and like I said, I love telling the story. 2 of my only true for sure memories I have here is a red mountain behind San Bernardino. Yes, it was on fire. And an earthquake, 4.5 to 5, somewhere in there. I know you saying, how'd they say in Indian Independence Day, Los Angelinos, that was just a 4-pointer. Go back to bed. Well, to a 5-year-old, all heck was breaking loose. So, all right, now I have put up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen a project I'm alpha testing on, allowed to, I have been told, so I have, giving you a little taste of what's to come called Elevatech. Think of it like Volanta, think of it like Sim Toolkit. Hopefully, while very similar in nature to Volanta, they won't adopt the payware aspect of Volanta. That's why I am on Sim Toolkit. You don't pay for anything that I've found yet. If it's there, I don't know. And yeah, I've argued with several pilots about it. To be told you're right. Not that I was out to be told I was right, just, you know, I am not a huge fan of Volanta because of the payware aspect. I do prefer Sim Toolkit because it's free, and it truly is pretty easy to operate. I haven't gotten into some of the stuff I want to, like building a better overlay at the top, but I think it gets the point across where we are, what we're doing, and most importantly, how long till we get there. Oh, for a second, I'm like, wait, when did Ontario get a cross runway? That's not Ontario. I think it's Chino. Oh, but anyway, I'm like, whoa. All right, let's take a look at something here. All right, I brought the yoke back up. We're getting about 34, 35 frames a second. Not bad, so long as we stay offline and the weather. So we are getting hit with some frame rates here. Any number of things. LA is a more enhanced scenery shelter. Also, time of day. The aircraft itself could be doing it. I don't know. But I'm trying to remember the VATSIM event I did earlier in the week. Granted, with the G5, now when you download the vFlyte, you get two aircraft folders. E1000, that's what you see on this one. I guess I've flown the G5 folder more and gotten more used to it. But overall, it's a great aircraft, folks. And frame rates, I just don't remember them being a problem. So, but again, I don't know if I really looked. And I was in a VATSIM event with a lot of GA aircraft. Thankfully, no weather, because up from Carson City to Sacramento, weather comes a little more frequently than down here. All right, I'm going to just let it go. We got 22 minutes, and we should be on the ground soon. Hope you enjoy. And again, one of the great features of Thronda is the headset feature. You can quiet the cockpit down just by putting the headset on. And make it a little easier to talk. I am going to...
89er Quebec. Request altimeter.
89er Quebec. Altimeter 3013.
Altimeter 3013. 89er Quebec.
Okay. And you want to do that from time to time. Like at the more major airports, you may be able to pull an ATIS to get that altimeter. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, you may have to talk to the center guy and go, hey, what's the nearest altimeter? Because we're not going to get above 18,000 feet. Now, you could turbocharged, but in this airplane, no. All right, 20 minutes to the destination airport. All right, Santa Ana, John Wayne Airport there to the left. Our airport out in the distance. So LAX off to the right under the mag, And folks, we are getting close. We are now off GPS. I am flying direct to our destination. Matter of fact, I am going to now go ahead request.
89er Quebec, ready for descent.
89R Quebec, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend and maintain 3000. 89er Quebec.
Part of me would love to come out here, fly. Actually would love to fly out here in an Aero Cherokee 6, although the Cherokee 6 would burn a lot more fuel than I could afford. But anyway, just fly from where I live in the St. Louis area out here in something like this, a couple days obviously. But I would love to kind of see it at about daybreak, sunset time frame to see all the planes in the air. Because not only do you have this long parade in and out of LAX, John Wayne, Ontario, Long Beach, you have the whole parade of GA aircraft, and I would just love to see the skies of LA and to get from where I need to go by plane instead of by car. Because of how bad traffic is. I think we're in the Long Beach area here. So I'm looking for the airport.
Quebec, altitude 7,900, descending 3,000, on heading 230.
November 1089R Quebec, Los Angeles International approach, altimeter 29997, radar contact.
Altimeter 29997, November 1089er Quebec.
And basically that northern end of the island up ahead, folks, that's where we're headed. We're basically headed at the VOR, but the airport sits, like I said, a mile or two from the VOR, and you're going to literally go to a base right onto a final. It's been a little tricky nemesis of mine here of late. We're hoping to break it with an airplane a bit more understanding with me. Hang on, folks. I'm trying to figure out what the heck we're flying over. Oil rigs. Holy mackerel. I did not know they were that close. Holy mackerel. When you turn the boat feature on here, folks, it just
Center 118.025.
Contact
it just litters the area with boats.
02589 Quebec. November 1089 Quebec. Altitude 6,800. Descending 3,000. On heading 225.
November 1089 Quebec, Los Angeles Center, altimeter 3013, radar contact.
Altimeter 3013. November 1089 Quebec.
So, but anyway, it just litters it. And I wish they could have like slider valves or levers for how much you put out there. So people like myself, I could go back to the boats. But who knows? Maybe they will. All right, we're currently 7 minutes out. I'm going to go ahead and steepen our descent. I just want to get down to 3,000, and they'll probably turn us loose because it's not controlled, I believe. Yeah, it's a Unicom, so we'll see how that all plays out. To give you...
Descend and maintain 2,500. 89 Quebec.
So, let me show you this. Hang on. Okay. So you can see we're coming in like this. Here's the VOR. We're going to basically turn with the dotted line and then line up for the runway. Runway looks like basically you're turning almost a full 180 to come back. So, but as slow as we'll be at about 90 to 80 to 90, gear down, flaps out, we should be able to get a better landing out of it. We'll see. But yeah, and then once we land, we get off where we can, taxi to the ramp.
Descend and maintain 2,500.
Working on it. Full stop landing zone.
Descend and maintain 2,500.
Runway 4, final 2,300 feet. And 22 is the preferred landing. Let's see. Winds are calm, so we could enter a pattern and come in the preferred way. Goodness gracious, mercy sakes alive, they just will not let up on me.
Descend and maintain 2,500. 89 Quebec.
Sorry, we are not descending above 1,000 feet a minute.
Descend and maintain 2,500. 89 radar services terminated. Squawk 1200. Fly heading 2284 Catalina. 89er Quebec.
Curious. There's your airfield. You can see it right over there, folks. We're going to go ahead, slow up. Rich up. Props up. Autopilot off. I'm going to do a little different approach this time. Catalina traffic, November 1089 Quebec. Overflying the airfield, enter a left downwind, runway 4. Okay, let's bring her around. What I'm using the CDI for is a help me judge the runway. All right, gear should be down. It is. And Catalina traffic, November 1089 Quebec Aero, left downwind, runway 4. And Catalina traffic, November 1089 Quebec, final runway 4. Okay, fuel's fine, gears 3 green, flaps full, runway in sight. Now let's start coming in for it. All right. Come off that dog leg and bringing it in. And November 1089 Quebec will back taxi to the FBO. Catalina traffic, November 1089 Quebec clear, runway 4. Again, welcome in, folks. All right, shut down real quick. Flaps are up, control wheel. Oh, wait a minute. Fuel pump off. Flight director off. Okay, looking through here. All right, we're at our destination, so avionics switch off. And props full, throttle closed, and mixture closed. Again, welcome. Oh, I forgot to show a couple things that I liked about this plane. Doggone it. Well, we'll show them now. All right, up here, you can actually latch and unlatch the door. Most of the general aviation never get you up top. There's usually a latch up there. And then, of course, you can open the door there. We'll go ahead and just set everything. Actually, no, we're not. It's been a while since I've done this. like I said, a little cheesy, but hey, if you have scenery with working hangars, it may be fun to use. Also, like you saw, we can't open the engine covers, but I can open these up. Now we'll put the chocks in. Unfortunately, that you have to wait for. There you have it, folks. A great flight into our destination of the month airport, Catalina. Let's take a look at what we got. 128 feet a minute. Wow, we'll take it. Considering what it's been like, we'll take it. And it's pending, so that's cool. All right, now let's look at Elevatech. First off, I want to get rid of something up here at the top. We'll start with Elevatech and then go to what we use as the official. Elevatech will show you somewhat of a landing report. I don't like it. And I don't know exactly how to voice it to them. This is all you get, 69 knots, 100 or 1.3 on the G's and 188. Your times you get, but you don't really get to learn anything off of this. And that's, I guess, where my problem comes in. So, I mean, again, I just don't know how to voice it to them so they understand where I'm coming from without trying to compare it to Sim Toolkit. Let me show you the difference. Volanta, by the way, is exactly the same. Now let's go to SimTool. SimToolkit, I think I can learn where am I screwing up. 153 feet a minute, 69. That's our quick blap, what you're used to. Okay, so we'll complete the flight. Give it a second, and then we'll pull it up. You can see our other two attempts down, two attempts. 826, 676 feet a minute. Horrible, horrible landings, folks. That's why we're doing it again to make sure we get it decent with them. All right, there's the route we took. Just a fun run, and you can see the little VFR pattern we did at the end. Now, let's view details. We're going to view just what you see with Volanta and Elevatech. And I hope both are part of Flying with Mike and watching, so you can kind of hear what I don't know how to type to you at Elevatech. I just don't know how to express it. So you get the basics, just like you just did off the other one. Hour and 9 minutes, 118 miles, 31 kilograms of fuel. Okay, 1.24 Gs, that's actually pretty good. 153 feet a minute, that's actually not bad. And 69 knots. That's about right for the Piper Arrow. Here's where Sim Toolkit blows them out of the water. Shows you where you landed. So now, not only do you know kind of the basics of where things were going wrong, you can actually see where it related. And we ended up 700 feet down the runway. Good, bad, indifferent. Hard to tell. The runway's kind of sun covered, but I would say those landing marks were right about here. And that's where you do want to aim for. Pitch 21, not bad. Roll, got a slight roll, trying to compensate for getting off the center line by 19 feet. And then the other numbers we know, 69 knots, 153, and 1.2 Gs. So, and again, here's your runway stats. So, a downslope, we had the chart, and I'll show that again. Okay, for those not familiar, oops, helps to bring it in here. There we go. Operations prohibited at night when airport is unattended. Pilots cannot see aircraft on opposites end due to the steepness of the runways. So you can see real world. Over here's the important stuff. Full stop landings only. Don't be doing touch and goes. I know that kind of stinks, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Runway 4 final 2,300 feet steep 2.1% downslope. Runway 22 upslope preferred for landing. Now I could have entered that pattern and came in on 22. Even thought about it, to be totally honest. But then I just decided let's go with what we've seen for the last 2 flights prior. And that's why we did what we did. So, but anyway, I wanted you to see this again and really emphasize. Runway 4 has a steep 2.1% downslope. If you look at Sim Toolkit, right up here in the slope, 1.7, call it 1.8%. So that tells you, folks, you gotta be careful. Also, of course, you know, it sounds weird, but make sure you're talking to traffic on Unicom 122.7. Folks, Unicom is different at different airports. Unicom can be called Common Traffic Advisory. So before you take that runway, make sure you're make sure you're talking. So, but anyway, hey, I've talked too much, and I know you've all had a great time on this flight. I sure did. That was fun. And there's LA in the distance, by the way, folks. All right, so let's call this what it was, a great flight, great landing, and I look forward to seeing you all on our next adventure. Again, YouTubers, you got to see this one only, and hope you enjoyed. I try to do that every now and then from time to time, and hope you enjoyed. So for now, I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you all, and we look forward to seeing you on our next adventure. Till then, be safe, stay warm, enjoy winter.